neurotransmitters. I am super excited that you are here with me, and I'm super proud of you for taking this time to learn about your neurotransmitters and to find out what you can do about yourself. So I'm going to start with a screen share here, and then I'll just keep talking, and you should be able to see this PowerPoint that I have for you. So we're going to talk about your neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that regulate your physical and emotional process. This is your movement, this is your stress response, it's your mind and your memory, it's your moods, it's your emotions, your energy, your food cravings, and it even has to do with pain and a couple other things as well. So your neurotransmitters are part of the central nervous system, and it's actually the chemicals that are the communication between the brain and your body's glands. So for instance, how the brain tells the thyroid and the adrenals and the ovaries what to do. They also tell your organs and muscles what to do as well. And they are released from neurons, and they travel across small spaces to reach receptors on target cells. So sounds really complicated, but I will explain what I'm talking about here. So neurotransmitters really have a profound influence on your overall health and your well-being. I found this really sad, actually, and I wanted to share it with you, that in 2007, $25 billion were spent on antidepressants just that year. But even worse, in 2009, US doctors wrote more psychiatric prescriptions than there were people in the United States. So if you're one of those people who got a prescription for some psychiatric prescriptions and they're not working for you, such as Xanax or Prozac or Cymbalta, and then you added something else to help it, if you're looking for help and you're looking to be yourself again and you're looking for answers, this is where you need to be. You are in exactly the right spot, because I am here to help you, and that's really my passion, is to teach you what you can do for yourself. So the rate of antidepressants used in the United States has actually increased nearly 400% over the last 2 decades. And this is also some really sad statistics. There's 11% of Americans over the age of 12 that take antidepressants, and 23% of women aged 40 to 59 actually take antidepressants, more than any other age or sex group. So if you're a woman in that age group, you're not alone. But there is something you can do about it. So let's talk about your 3 main neurotransmitters. So they are your norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine. These neurotransmitters work together to help your alertness, your concentration, your energy, your memory, your appetite, your libido, your pleasure, your happiness, your drive, your motivation. If your neurotransmitters are out of balance, then you feel some of the negative side effects from it. So if you're feeling anxiety or irritability or low libido, food cravings, your attention isn't there, or your motivation is off, then it's probably because you have an imbalance. So let's talk a little bit more about imbalances. I actually do a neurotransmitter test that you can contact me for. It's a urine test you do at home. And it's a really good idea to see if your neurotransmitters are imbalanced from this urine test if you are experiencing any of these symptoms. So anxiety, depression, fatigue, insomnia, addictions, weight loss, or you can't lose weight, if you have food cravings or poor impulse control, you have a poor memory, your lack of mental clarity, you're not able to focus, if you suffer from chronic pain or headaches or migraines, and if your digestion is off or if you have irritable bowel syndrome. So we're going to go on a little road trip here, and we're going to talk about these neurotransmitters and the concepts behind them, and I'm going to walk you through each neurotransmitter and discuss what imbalances look like. So I test these basic neurotransmitters: your serotonin, your dopamine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, GABA, and glutamate. So this is kind of what a neurotransmitter path looks like. So after we test your neurotransmitters, then looking at the evaluation, the best course of action is to target the imbalances with nutrients. And that's really what I look at. What is your body low on? So instead of going to drugs, because as a naturopath, I really feel that drugs are not for disease deficiency, we need to look at nutrition deficiency. So I look at what precursors and nutrients really help the problem. So I look at amino acids, which are types of protein, the cofactors that go with it, and then some herbs or adaptogenic herbs if needed. So some amino acids that you can actually take at home if you're feeling off. Now remember, if we don't know where you're at, some of these can actually make it worse. But if you want to try some of these at home first on your own, they're definitely safe, and they're just amino acids that you can buy at any health food store. They should be taken on an empty stomach about 30 minutes away from food, and this helps them cross the blood-brain barrier and interact with our neurotransmitter regulations. One that's really great to start with is the last one on the list there, that L-theanine, because it's a good one whether you are high or low in different neurotransmitters. It helps balance you both ways. But as you can look at this list here, there's some other amino acids that could be precursors to help you with some balance. I'm going to skip through here and go to the cofactors. So cofactors are essential for the activity of an enzyme. And these cofactors are good to add with those amino acids. So you want to be adding stuff like vitamin C, copper, and B3. And that will really help and are especially important in the neurotransmitter pathways. Some other cofactors are SAMe, magnesium, and then also some different methyls if it's needed. So for example, B6 should only be given in a special form, and B12 should only be given in the form of MTH if you're having a methyl issue as well. Let's talk about adaptogenic herbs, because these are also herbs that you can go and get at your health food store. So adaptogenic herbs are really great because they do exactly what their name suggests. They help you adapt. They help the body adapt to stress, and they help the body resist stress. So to officially be called an adaptogen, a compound must be able to enhance the body without any adverse side effects. So these are some really great ones that you can take. Now, adaptogenic herbs give you energy. So these ones you would want to take in the morning. So rhodiola and ginseng actually come in a combination from Standard Process, and that's one of my favorite combinations of adaptogenic herbs to help people. But as you can see from this list, if you want to write them down, these are some ones that you could look for at your health food store and start with. If they don't help you, then you can definitely give me a call and we can talk about testing you with the urine test. So some other herbs, these ones actually help balance the nervous system and help to relax you. So these are good ones that help you cope with stress. They help bring you down from anxiety. They help you go to sleep if you're having insomnia or where the brain keeps firing. And they also help a little bit with mild depression. So passion flower is one of some of my patients' favorites, kava kava, and if you like, you can also do valerian, or a combination of any of these is great. Some people need methylation support, and we can talk about that. If you're not feeling better on the herbs, then we can definitely talk about adding some different folic acids into your program. So L-theanine, as I discussed earlier, is a great treatment for high and low neurotransmitters. So you will see that L-theanine is recommended throughout this. It has many great functions. It's really great because it increases serotonin, but it can also help to bring it down if it's too high as well. So L-theanine is an amino acid that's found in green tea. It has a really calming effect on the brain. It helps boost your alpha waves. It helps regulates your mood. It really takes the weight off your shoulders and creates a sense of well-being. It also is great as a physical stress responser. So when it is combined with caffeine, it actually will help your mindful alertness, but it has a really short lifespan, so a lot of times I have people take it 3 times a day or every 4 to 6 hours. Another vitamin that's really great to add is some vitamin D because it is one of those cofactors to help balance out your neurotransmitters. Fish oils are also awesome, and you can find them at your health food store. It's really important that you are doing fish oils every day for brain function. They help every cell in your body. They have an antidepressant effect, and they're actually anti-inflammatory as well. They're good for your entire body. So let's talk about each neurotransmitter just a little bit. I'm going to break them down. So serotonin is one that helps with all of your functions like mood control, your sleep, your pain, your GI tract. And imbalanced serotonin levels, whether it's high or whether it's low, is associated with depression. So if you're feeling depressed and you want to know whether it's high or low, that urine test is a great test to do to see where your serotonin is at and actually all the neurotransmitters. So if your serotonin is imbalanced, you could have symptoms such as racing or troublesome thoughts, emotional numbness, crying or angry outbursts, thoughts of escaping your circumstances, no motivation. You might have some physical changes such as cold hands and feet or different body temperatures, aches and pains all over your body, muscle cramps, bowel or bladder issues, and definitely a depressed feeling or even thoughts of suicide. So it's really important that if you feel any of these symptoms, that you get it balanced right away. You can also have an appetite change with low serotonin. It can cause your appetite to change or cause you to crave more sweets or carbohydrates because the brain tries to use sweets and carbohydrates as a quick fix to increase your serotonin levels. So if you're feeling fat and sad, it can also be increasing insulin for a long period, and this can be a cause of other things such as type 2 diabetes, but it is also a cause of low serotonin levels. So it's important to keep your blood sugar balanced as well. I wanted to show you a way to support your serotonin here. So if you look at the low side and you look at the high side, L-theanine is on both sides. So it's a great one to start with, even if you haven't done the test, even if you don't know where your serotonin levels are. You want to also add those cofactors, the Bs, some iron, maybe some SAMe as well. So I am really passionate about teaching people how to increase their serotonin in the brain without drugs. So you want to have positive mood induction, positive thoughts, maybe some light therapy, get out into the sunshine, soak up some vitamin D yourself, take off your sunglasses, take off your coat, let some sun on your shoulders. It's also important to exercise, and of course, nutrition is the #1 way to increase your serotonin without taking drugs. Dopamine is another neurotransmitter. So this is really our pleasure or calming neurotransmitter. It also gives us our motivation, it helps us with our sleep, it helps balance our moods, and it helps with our attention and our learning. If you have an excess amount of dopamine, you can actually feel paranoid. So the unmistakable feeling that everyone is out to get you, if you're feeling like somebody is following you, those can be signs of excess dopamine. If you don't have enough dopamine, you can actually feel or want isolation. You have issues with motivation, an inability to finish your tasks, maybe a drop in your libido, forgetfulness, and you may be more prone to addictions such as food or drugs or gambling or even sex. And other pathological states have been also associated with low dopamine, such as schizophrenia, autism, and ADD. So again, the L-theanine is on both sides here. either low or high. So if you don't know where you are, you don't want to do a urine test, this is a good way to start. And then add those cofactors, the B vitamins, the iron, some vitamin C, copper. And if you need to, and this is not enough, then definitely contact me and we'll make sure exactly where your neurotransmitters are. The next ones are epinephrine and epinephrine. They're flight or fight hormones. So they are there to help us through stress. They're there if a bear is right behind us, if we're going to run from it or if we're going to fight at it. But our body doesn't know these days whether a bear is chasing us. It could be a deadline you have to meet, a bad phone call. It could be that you're a mom and you have a bajillion things to do that day. Anything that causes you stress, whether it's physical or emotional stress, will cause the epinephrine, norepinephrine to become imbalanced. If you have low levels of norepinephrine and epinephrine, they can lead to poor attention and memory, decreased concentration, reduced socialization, loss of alertness, memory problems or brain fog, depression, pain, and lack of arousal and interest. So if you have too many or too much in excess levels of norepinephrine and epinephrine, you can also feel some of those same things we talked about before. The physical symptoms such as headaches or migraines, restlessness, cold hands, maybe high blood pressure, some edema, which is water retention. You may feel heart palpitations. And then it can also affect your mood. So the irritability, anxiety, agitation, not sleeping, the inability to relax, the lack of mental focus, not being able to shut your brain off are some signs that you may have an excess level. Again, that L-theanine and the cofactors are really great. And the last one here is glutamate. High glutamate can also be a cause of anxiety, insomnia, ADHD, also other things such as seizures or autism, and even Alzheimer's. Low glutamate can cause depression, fatigue, brain fog, addiction or dependency, and a slow learning. So this can be in kids as well as adults. Glutamate is actually from or can be increased by eating too many foods with MSG in it. So there's some hidden sources that you may eat every day, such as beef or bouillon, cornstarch, corn syrup, different yeast extracts, different flavorings. So you can check this out, see if there's anything that you may be eating that's actually raising your glutamate. To support the glutamate, it's really important to know where it is. So if it's low, we actually add L-glutamine. If it's high, then some amino acids are actually better. You don't want to do L-glutamate unless you know that your glutamate is actually low. And then let's talk about GABA. So GABA is our relaxing and calming neurotransmitter. If you don't have enough of it, you guessed it, you don't relax. So low GABA has been found in panic attacks and anxiety, depression, alcoholism, even bipolar. A deficiency in GABA levels may be caused by your diet or prolonged stress. It can also be a little bit genetic. If your GABA is too high, then you can also have some of the same symptoms: a lack of alertness, difficulty concentrating, diminished memory, dampened mood, decreased cognitive processing. It's important to know where your GABA is before you actually start taking GABA. If your GABA is low, then of course taking GABA is a good way to bring it up. But if your GABA is high, you don't want to take GABA. Again, the L-theanine is on both sides of the chart here. So when to know if you should test your neurotransmitters. Many neurotransmitter symptoms, as you could see through this, actually overlap with hormone symptoms, but not all. When these symptoms are reported, it's important to consider maybe contacting me for a urine test. So if you're seeing in yourself or somebody else some food cravings or addictive behavior, obsessive behavior, poor impulse control, movement disorders, irritable bowel syndrome, or the anxiety, the depression, the fatigue, you can actually contact me and I can send you out this neurotransmitter, or we can do a neurotransmitter hormone test. It's a simple urine test, or if we need to, we can add saliva. You fill out this questionnaire, you send it into the lab, and then I get the results in about a week from when you send it off. So I want to give you a very special gift here for watching my webinar and joining me today. If you call within the next month, so you have a whole month, if you contact me before the 1st of June, I'll extend it just a little bit, I will actually give you $50 off your neurotransmitter test if you mention that you were on this webinar. So this is what your neurotransmitter results would look like. Of course, we want you to be in the green area, the within range area. And if you have low or high ones, then we can look exactly into what you're showing and exactly what you need to fix it. So your neurotransmitters, in a summary, really are everything in our body, from our mood to our brain to our sleep and even pain and stuff like fibromyalgia and joint pain, muscle pain. A variety of disorders can range in our moods. So if you're feeling fatigued, if your moods are down, even if you're already on an antidepressant and you want to get off of it or it's not working for you, it's good to support your body with those nutrients that we talked about. They're just nutrition, it's just from food, so it's completely safe to take with your prescriptions. We can also work with your doctor, of course. So in most cases, neurotransmitters imbalances can be effectively addressed with nutrition, amino acids, nutrients, botanicals, and they are very less toxic than the pharmaceuticals. There are no side effects to nutrition. I've been doing this for 12 years, and my passion is just really helping people get their life back from a natural nutrition perspective. So thank you for joining me. I hope that you really enjoyed that. I hope that you learned something out of it. And I just want to say that I'm here to help you. So if you have any questions, you can contact me. If you want help balancing your neurotransmitters, remember that there is help out there. I've actually wrote a book on this so that you can take quizzes and learn more about it and help yourself at home. My book is sold everywhere. It's called Happy, the New Sexy, because I really believe that being happy is the new sexy. And you can contact me or look me up online at happythenewsexy.com. So that's happythenewsexy.com. Thanks so much, and I look forward to answering your questions. Have a beautiful, blessed day.